These are the Sunday recommendations for my free email list for September the 13th, 2020. This week's blog post is the third in a series of posts on favorites and new discoveries at the Gardner Museum in Boston. They're photos taken on a visit in August 2020. Second recommendation, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow's The Children's Hour, a poem from 1860. Last week's recommendations were a quiet farewell to years of living in New York City, or at least being able to visit it frequently. This week I'm reminding myself that now I get to explore a bit further north: Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont. Longfellow spent much of his life in the Boston area. This is one of my favorite poems of his, partly because it mentions his daughter Allegra, and Allegra is the name of my daughter as well. Between the dark and the daylight, when the night is beginning to lour, comes a pause in the day's occupations that is known as the children's hour. I hear in the chamber above me the patter of little feet, the sound of a door that is opened, and voices soft and sweet. From my study I see in the lamplight descending the broad hall stair grave Alice and laughing Allegra and Edith with golden hair. A whisper, and then a silence. Yet I know by their merry eyes they are plotting and planning together to take me by surprise. A sudden rush from the stairway, a sudden raid from the hall. By 3 doors left unguarded they enter my castle wall. They climb up into my turret or the arms and back of my chair. If I try to escape, they surround me. They seem to be everywhere. They almost devour me with kisses, their arms about me entwine, till I think of the Bishop of Bingen in his mouse tower on the Rhine. Do you think, O blue-eyed banditti, because you've scaled the wall, such an old moustache as I am is not a match for you all? I have you fast in my fortress, and will not let you depart, but put you down in the dungeon in the round tower of my heart. And there will I keep you forever, yes, forever and a day, till the walls shall crumble to ruin and moulder in dust away. All right, the fourth recommendation is a 44-room Berkshire cottage, that's what these mansions are called, in southwest Massachusetts. Its name is Naumkeag. It was constructed in 1885 to 86 to a design by McKim, Mead & White, who later became famous for such New York City landmarks as the original Penn Station and the campus of Columbia University. This particular mansion has a sculpture by Frederick McMonnies that's still in the original situation where it was put, rather than in a museum, and that's very, very rare. I've given you a link to the official site for Naumkeag and to my album of photos from there. If you're a friend of mine on Facebook, you've already seen these photos. And the same is true of the next recommendation. The fourth recommendation this week is another of the Berkshire cottages, the one that I would most like to live in fact. DianeDurantewriter.com has hundreds of posts on sculpture, painting, and my other obsessions. To join the free Sunday recommendations email list, visit the URL that's on your screen or email me. And you can say, "Well done, Diane," or support my work and receive rewards by means of the tip jar on DianeDurantewriter.com. Thanks as always for listening.